Breaking news, Iran's conflict between United States and Israel is not even showing any sign of ending anytime soon. There is no sign here that this issue could actually end anytime soon. The world is watching, of course. The slow burning crisis, the very slow burning crisis is starting to hit where it hurts most, which is the energy. Guys, energy supply is being affected by this crisis as tensions around Iran continues with no clear end in sight. Global oil prices are climbing again, like this is hovering dangerously above $100 per barrel, and behind that number lies a much bigger story. At the center, at the center of all of this, the Strait of Hormuz is that particular narrow stretch of water that carries roughly a fifth of the world's oil supply. When the route is being threatened, the entire global economy suffers. The entire global economy feels it deeply. Right now, the threat is real. It's no longer that threat that comes just because it's threat. It is beginning to feel real. Let me inform that analysts warn that disruptions in the single checkpoint in this a single choke point have already removed millions of barrels of oil from the market, tightening supply and even pushing prices higher. And the Straits of Hormuz, if the straits were fully closed, the impact wouldn't even be equal across the world. According to experts, Europe could actually become, or Europe could hit the hardest. Yes, Europe could actually be hit harder and at the worst possibly at the worst possible time. But why is it like that? Why do you think it could happen that way? Because Europe is already under pressure. So closing down the Straits of Hormuz entirely could actually affect Europe more if its energy system depends heavily on imported fuels. Europe depends on other countries to survive, including refined products and liquefied natural gas that passes through the Gulf region. So when supply drops, Europe doesn't just feel it, it struggles. They are going to struggle. Prices are going to increase, industries will slow down, households will pay more bills. So, ways like this already is being seen early. Like all these, there are early signs. Jet fuel shortage are emerging. Flights are being cut. Energy, like the cost is getting high. It's climbing by the day, by the hour across parts of Europe. So even when there are small improvements like efforts to keep the Straits of Hormuz open, markets react instantly, showing just how fragile the situation has become. So what do you think will happen next as all these tensions are going up by the hour? If tensions ease, prices could stabilize. Oh, yes, there is a possibility that if tensions ease, prices could stabilize. But if the conflict keeps dragging up, tensions keeps going high, it might become worse. Yes, it might become worse. The world could be looking at full-scale energy shock because some analysts even warn oil climb far beyond $100 if supply remains disrupted. This is no longer just regional conflict, but is now a global pressure point where geopolitics meets price. You pay for fuel, transport, and even everyday living. So, but here is the big question I could actually ask you guys. Will the Straits of Hormuz be open? Will it stay open? Do you think it will continue to be allowed by the Iranians to continue the passage as little as whatever that is passing? Do you think it can still remain open while all this crisis still goes on? Or do you think that anything would actually trigger it to close entirely? Anyways, tell me what you think in the comment section.